Hello and welcome to Envision. I'm Deanne Conrad here with Dr. Brian Maher, our superintendent in the Sioux Falls Public Schools. And we have some exciting news in that we are moving forward with a computer science immersion program at 3 of our elementary schools. Why computer science?
Well, that's a great question. Let me answer that in stages. Okay. First of all, I think it's a continuation of what this school district is about, and that is trying to provide engaging pathways for our students. That's not something that's new to my tenure here as a superintendent, nor is it something that's very new. We've been doing that for at least about 10 years as a school district. So I would say this is the next step. That's part of the why. Why computer science specifically? I think partially because the notion of coding and the notion of computer science is becoming more and more foundational for students today than for students when you were young, or certainly when I was young. So I think that's part of the rationale. And then the other part, I would say, is in congruence with our strategic plan, we want to provide equity and access to programs, and this will be part of that equity and access to highly engaging programs.
Wonderful. We're trying to get, as you've said a couple of times, young girls interested in coding. We're trying to expand the diversity of students who are participating in our specialized schools as well. This kind of does that for us.
Right. From the getting young ladies involved, it was interesting. A few months ago now, I was at Washington High School for an hour of code. And for those listeners that might not know what Hour of Code is, it's an hour in the high schools where we bring females together and we bring role models, female role models from around the community in to talk to them about potentially looking at the computer science pathway. There are relatively few females in this industry. Luckily for us, we have some good role models in several of our local corporations.
Sure.
At Hour of Code, I had an opportunity to listen to 5 females in the computer science industry, and those 5 were at the following 3 companies. They were at Eros, they were at Raven Industries.
I would have guessed that.
Yeah, and they were at Citibank.
Okay.
So 5 of them. I had a chance to talk to 3 of the 5 females there and ask them if we were doing enough in the area of computer science. Well, of course, they're a little bit biased,
sure.
But of course they said no. And I said, when should we start computer science instruction? And 2 of them said at the elementary level. And one of them was so specific to say at kindergarten. So it's a little bit of a response there. But the good news about computer science instruction is we're teaching it to all boys and all girls beginning in kindergarten. And so everybody's going to have an equal access from a gender perspective to computer science instruction. Right. So that's good. You talked also about the ethnicity piece, and when I look at the programs that we already run, the Spanish Immersion, Challenge Center, Eugene Field's Arts Plus School, and All City, 4 great, incredibly engaging programs. But when I looked at those through the strategic planning process from an ethnic standpoint and from a socioeconomic standpoint, I see that the number of non-white students in those schools is significantly lower than the number of non-white students across our population.
Right.
From a free and reduced price lunch perspective, I see that those on free and reduced price lunches also aren't represented in those specialty school programs as they are across all of our elementaries.
Right.
So we want to do something that is specific to that equity and access piece too, from both an ethnicity perspective and a socioeconomic perspective. So we think the Code to the Future, the name of the vendor that we're looking at partnering with in computer science in general, is something that will help us address those strategic plan needs.
Wonderful. You've seen Code to the Future in action. You've had a chance to visit some classrooms in other parts of the country that are using this model, and it's pretty amazing. The young people pick things up so quickly, and this doesn't change our curriculum, what it does is integrate activities with coding into our already existing curriculum. Is that right?
Yeah, that's very well put. This will certainly be new for our teachers who teach it, but they won't have to learn an entirely new curriculum.
Sure.
English is still going to be English, math is still going to be math, social studies is still going to be social studies, etc. So from that perspective, no change. What will change is the activities involved to help enhance math instruction, science instruction, English instruction. Just as in Spanish immersion, we use the existing school district curriculum, we'll do the same with computer science.
Okay, it's just the method of delivery that changes a bit.
Correct.
Awesome. Well, lots of exciting things to come with computer science immersion and Code to the Future. I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot more about that in the days and weeks to come. Thanks for joining us on Envision.